obedience is about. Maybe several times or just twice. 2 ears, eyes, and 1 mouth. Be conscious, quiet, like mice. See no evil, nor shall you speak nor hear. But this tale isn't too close to wicked, so lend me your ear. No, lend me both. Wise men can attest that listening twice as hard be better than taking arrows to the chest and being dealt wild cards. It costs nothing, not to my familiar currency, to pay attention. Contrary enough, your mind will rupture sturdily if your choice is not to listen. Your common sense will deplete covertly. Trust can be barred. It is a weapon. It can leave those scarred who come in contact in lines they were stepping. Cats don't lay it down how they outrightly claim. They act more like snakes, slandering your reputation, your name. Stealing with you, making profits together. Now stealing your honey too, turning your sky into bad weather. Running things, because that's who y'all were. Not concerned with wedding rings, just Benjamins hustling and chauffeurs. Turning paper, you had your own label. Luck changed like shady casinos. Y'all were turning them like turntables. But things flipped and fell quick like dominoes. Barry was a boy who could never tell the truth. He would tell so many lies that he could feel the pain in his tooth. Quick and witty, yes he was. He was so persuasive that he could tell a lie and you'd give him a round of applause. It was an ordinary Wednesday. At home was where he would use his soothing words towards himself and say,
"Today is not worth my time. What am I to do if I don't even have a dime? I don't want to stay home and do nothing, but I don't want to get in that black and white car and hear my wrist cuffing. Maybe I should just go to school and do what needs to be done. But I didn't do my homework, and getting zeros isn't fun. I just skipped to save my grade and called it a day."
Thus, he stayed home until he heard the phone wail. He drank his Pepsi and whispered to himself,
"I'm ready to tell the tale."
"Hello, is a Mr. and Mrs. Bond there?"
asked the secretary.
"Yes, you must be calling for Barry,"
replied Barry.
"You see, he is in urgent care." "Ha ha, I'm just playing. He has the bad case of a flu. He's doing well and he will be back in a few."
"That's great. I'm glad to hear that. But if he doesn't come back tomorrow, I will have to call back."
"That's fine. I assure you he will be there."
Barry hung up and said,
"Man, that's not fair."
This was his first lie, and that's what he would say. He still didn't do his homework and called it a day. Barry was a clever little boy, but karma would catch up to him. He played with people's minds in a way that as not coy, and because of that, his trust and worthiness grew dim. It was the last day and the last hour of school. Barry had not done his homework and he thought it was cool. The teacher looked at his roster and Barry was the 3rd slot, so he had time of the essays to plot.
"I'll say it got eaten by a dog. No, a cat. No, that's lame. No one will believe that. There goes one essay. I need to think quick. Man, I wish I could prove my way out of this room with that magic stick. By George, I got it. I'll just ask, can I go to the restroom? Yeah, that's it."
"I believe you, Barry,"
said the teacher in his daydream.
"Now, I have one more to go. One down. Turns out Amina didn't do her essay. That means she gets an A for the day. Oh no, I'm out of time."
"Okay, Barry, let's hear your words combined."
"Sure, I'll read it for you, but it's in my locker."
"Okay, well, go get it. We'll wait, but you better rush like a blitz blocker."
I create a diversion and see how it goes.
He walked around the corner. He thought he was in the clear. But he ran into the secretary.
"I'm glad to see you here. How are you?"
she asked.
"It's fine,"
he replied.
"Yeah, right. I knew you lied. I knew that was your voice I spoke to, talking about how you'll be back in a few. Barry, I see right through you. If you think you're going to get away with this, you got another thing coming."
Once the secretary left, Barry shrugged his shoulders and walked away. He could care less what anyone had to say. Now that he had the hallway all to himself, Barry began his covert mission. As he spotted the fire alarm, his mind became clouded with a bad decision. Barry stretched forth his arm to pull the fire alarm, and the hallway immediately became as busy as disturbed beehives. Every student and faculty member bull rushed their way out of the building, fearing for their lives. Barry had a great pride in what he had done. However, he did not know that it would cost others a ton. Moments before the fire alarm incident, a senior was making up his recovery packet.
Yeah, I can do this,
Exclaimed the senior.
all that prevents me from finishing all this work that I missed.
When the fire alarm sounded, it destroyed any hopes that he would finish the packet or graduate high school that year. Consequently, the senior left school shedding tears. Fortunately, he was tipped off by a loyal friend about Barry's honorable deed. The senior was overcome by a revengeful greed. From that day, he swore to make Barry pay. According to the senior's evil plot, it would be Barry's worst day. It was the first day since the fire alarm incident, and Barry was on his way to school.
School is definitely not cool,
Murmured Barry. Just then, the senior walked up behind Barry and sought to fulfill his evil wish. Barry he begged the office secretary to give him a clean slate.
Not today, Barry.
She replied.
I'm sorry, but you've been denied.
Barry's teacher also did not believe his excuse for being late. He found himself battered, bruised, and 30 minutes late.
I can no longer trust you, Barry.
Said the teacher. Barry faced a harsh reality that he also failed that course and he would have to repeat it. Barry's heart felt weak with every repeating beat. He would have to come to terms with his chronic lying condition by stating in admission. Barry was the center of this modern take on The Boy Who Cried Wolf. But the lesson remains the same. Never tell a lie. When you lie a lot, people will never know when you are telling the truth. When you lie, you have to tell many more lies to cover up for the first lie that you told. The lesson is never tell a lie.
I don't want to stay home and do nothing, but I don't want to get in black and white car and hear my wrist cuffling.
Okay.
Today is not worth my time. What am I to do if I don't even have a dime?
He drank his Pepsi and whispered to himself,
I'm ready to tell a tale. I'll get ready to tell a tale.
Hello.
Read that sentence over again.
He played with people's minds in a way that is not coy, and because of that, his that says trust. I'm sorry. His roster, and Barry was the third slot, so he had time of the two essays to plot. The teacher looked at his roster, and Barry was the third slot, so he had the time to...
Really? Thanks, Nora.
I said I'm not recording. You said no.
Go. I didn't do her essay. No, that's you. Stop.
Man, that's you.
Go.
However, he did not know that it would cost others a ton. He had to come to terms with his chronic lying condition by stating in admission. Barry was the center of his modern... Consequently, the senior left school shedding tears. Unfortunately,
Dude, that was close.
Phew.
I ain't know because it looked like an...
Yeah, so you gotta say, whew. No, it's close like that.
Okay, y'all could have just... Y'all playing. We only got...